So we are coming to a close, and we have our final panel for the day. Our last session today is about marketing and commercial. So leading us in this discussion, we have Moses Kemibaro, founder and CEO, Dotsavvy. I hope I said the name right. We have Millie Abila, founder, Pesco Digital. Please join us on stage. Kindly appreciate her as she comes. We have Nimish Hadoli, CEO, Agency Africa. Kindly join us on stage. And we have Brenda Mwirichia, CEO, Pick and Dale Solutions. Thank you. So our esteemed speakers will sensitize us on tips to attract and improve our clients, keys to search engine optimization, search engine marketing, advertising strategies, and social network management. As I step down, just a brief announcement. If you are a car owner for KDG 203W, KBL 510N, and KCN 783L, please attend to your vehicles at the basement parking. The security will guide you when you get down there. Thank you. Please go ahead. Do you have a mic? Moses, you can start us off.
Do I stand? Do I sit? How do we do this?
Feel free. Whichever you feel works for you.
I prefer standing.
Yeah, so that you can see anyone maybe falling asleep.
Well, it's kind of hard to see with that light. So, in the interest of time, good evening, everyone. I believe in what we usually call the graveyard shift. So it's our job to make sure you guys stay interested, even if we have a scenario where you'd rather get out and have some of the cocktail, right? So I'll be presenting mostly on content marketing and social media. I need to do this in 20 minutes. So whoever's running the slides, please go ahead. So that's all the stuff I've done professionally. The most important thing on that slide is that I'm an Arsenal supporter. All right? And if you know anything, unlike our other friends from Manchester, last night was not a good night. But Arsenal won 4-0, and I'd like to say, Mambo ni matatu. We just keep winning. We can't stop. So let's go to the next slide. Oh, where's the clicker? Technologia. Good, good. So what's the digital landscape looking like today? Number one, COVID changed everything, right? We started working from home. My company, we still work from home. And it's working. 3.5 years, it works. We saw a situation in Kenya where e-commerce for the very first time actually became a thing. Now, I've been working in this space for over 20 years, and never have I seen what happened in the last few years in Kenya in terms of the potential. These are the social media platforms globally that are performing really well. The one that makes a lot of interest there is TikTok. This is Kenya as of last year. You can see that TikTok is number 4. Right now, the thing I'm going to tell you right now that's important is TikTok is not just about dancing or twerking, all right? It's about posting interesting content with an algorithm that can actually get your content seen. Again, these are our numbers in Kenya. The numbers are completely wrong, especially around social media. That number is closer to 25, maybe even 30 million, okay? But the most interesting thing about this slide is how much time you Kenyans are spending on your phone. If you're spending 4 hours a day on your phone, are you getting any work done? Right? But more importantly, it's telling us something that consumer behavior is mobile first in this country. If you're going to do your digital and your social media well, you need to use something called SoStack, which I'm sure Nimish knows. Yeah, you need to understand your current situation. You need to understand your objectives, your strategy, your tactics, your actions, and control. In the interest of time, we can't get into the details, but that framework is what makes everything work. It's also important to understand the customer journey. How do customers come to you? Did they see an ad? Did they listen to a podcast? Did they look at your social media? Presumably they consumed your content. A transaction happened online or offline, and that person became a customer. But it's also very important to understand the conversion funnel in terms of how did they become aware of you? What made them engage with your content? What then made them consider buying your product or service? But more importantly, even after converting, how do you keep them on your brand? The social media platforms that matter the most are these. I will confess the one in yellow and the one in black, I'm still learning how to use. I'm not even sure if Snapchat is still a thing, But I understand many women in Kenya use it because of the filters. The same way when you ask men in Kenya, do you use Pinterest? They ask you, what is Pinterest? What many men don't know is chances are their house was decorated on Pinterest and their wedding was planned on Pinterest. True or false? Yeah? So what matters most when it comes to managing your social media? You need social media content calendars to plan your content. You need to do updates that are helpful and useful content. The worst content you can post is something like we won an award because it doesn't bring value to your customers. Talk about what brings value to them. The content can be also shared content. It doesn't have to be stuff you created. And make sure you schedule to publish your content at the times that your audience is most active. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram show you exactly when. The process is very simple. Start off by listening, right? You know the biggest problem with men, we never listen. Huh? But if we listen, we start to understand what's actually happening around our brand and our competitors. That then gives us an insight to create the content that's going to drive engagement. And as engagement starts to happen, what happens is we then reach a point where customers actually become advocates so that without even you telling them to do so, they support and protect your brand. So for instance, if there's somebody from Apple in this room and they want to give me the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I will gladly promote them. Yeah, because I love everything Apple. So what's the importance of digital content? It brings to life who you are and what you do as a brand. It helps you connect to your audience, and it also builds authentic relationships through contextually relevant content. And it's a big deal because we're reaching a point where consumers are not even looking at advertising. Consumers need to see your brand as being a friend or somebody they can connect to. So moving to a place where you're creating content that actually makes you the destination and not the distraction. Okay, this is really important. Create content that actually brings value. What content performs best? Is it unexpected? Right now we're all saying Mambo ni Matatu. Where did that come from? How does your brand play in that space? How do you become contextually relevant? Does it have movement and motion? Does it have lots of color? Does it eye catch? Does it thumb stop if you're scrolling? Are the visuals interesting? And does it engage in a way that your audience actually find interesting? The most critical thing is if you want to drive conversations around your brand, which eventually lead to conversions, it's a function of content and your social media connections, which then drive those conversations. The content should be focused on what your audiences want and need. Give them solutions, give them stuff they can use, helpful and useful, entertaining content also, and also storytelling. How can we use storytelling to connect? The most important content today is what we call visual and video content. Images, YouTube, and yes, emojis. Even the shows and gukaros are using emojis. True or false? 82% of consumer internet traffic in the world is now video. When my children go on the TV to search, they don't search Google, they search YouTube. They don't read the content, they want a video to tell them the answer. We have a whole demographic today that if you're not creating video content, they don't consume you. If they don't consume you, they cannot buy from you. These guys are being trained on TikTok, Instagram, and so forth to literally search for videos. In fact, TikTok is now eating into Google's search traffic because the youth don't even go to Google. Imagine that. And the data is there to prove it. Kenyans, 96% any kind of video. Yeah? It's saying a lot. People complain about data bundles, but we just love to watch video. So if you're not creating video as a brand, guess what? You're irrelevant, especially for those young guys. And the kind of video that performs best is what we call short form video, the TikToks, the YouTube shorts, and also the Instagram and Facebook reels. This is vertically oriented content, typically within 3 minutes at most. If you can't get your message out in that time, it doesn't work. I'm shocked at the kind of TikTokers we have in this country who even have 10 million followers. How many brands in Kenya have 10 million followers on their social media pages? Name one. Not even Safaricom. Yet the individuals who have got serious following on TikTok, up to 10 million followers. As we continue, it used to be 5 seconds. You now only have 3 seconds to get attention and the potential for conversion. If your content does not make a connection in 3 seconds, guess what? That young person who's a potential future customer disappears. 3 seconds is your window of opportunity. So often in a lot of organizations today, they're getting young people to help them understand how to create content that can make a connection in 3 seconds. Because it's almost like a new dialect. It's a new way of communicating digitally. It is not Facebook. It is not even Instagram. It's a new TikTok way of doing things. Keep it simple. Something called too long didn't read. These guys don't read. I call them the ones with the dreadlocks and the tattoos. They don't read. They want to watch a video. They want to be entertained by your content, right? If you're not creating that kind of content, that future customer is gone. Make sure that your content is fit for platform. You do not take what you created on TikTok and post it on LinkedIn. You don't create what you posted on LinkedIn and put it on Facebook. Different dimensions, different audience, different context. Think about how you package and repackage content to speak to that demographic. Instagram, and specifically Reels and TikTok, it's for young people more than anything. LinkedIn is for mubabas. True or false? Right? Storytelling is key. You do not just go out there and have posts that are just saying, buy our product. This is a very good illustration of the power of storytelling. This is a family that moved to the US, and unfortunately they lost everything just as the pandemic was starting. There's a very popular Facebook page called The Humans of New York. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. All they do is tell stories about people. They heard about their plight. These guys were kicked out of their house. They lost everything. And they started a story. And you can see the first post there is 9 of 12. The last post, before the ask, is there saying, if you think this story has moved you, please support this family. And what do you see in terms of the fundraiser? How much money is that? A good story led to this family getting $1.2 million. $2 million as a result of them feeling emotionally connected. An example of engaging content. This is a Facebook group that I'm a part of in my residential area. It is a very boring Facebook group. All you'd see is wives and husbands looking for a cooker, a used bed, etc. And it's just very quiet. You know, I'm looking for somewhere for my kids to go on the weekend, bouncing castle. And then one day, this dude shows up. Yeah? And he says, not personal trainer, personal home trainer. Is he wearing a t-shirt? There's even a lady that says Jesus is Lord. Did that get your attention? Look at how many comments are there, 350. Guys, content doesn't have to be serious to get engagement. This one is even better. This is a few years ago, and it happened on a Saturday morning, and of course I'm a social media guy. I think we all celebrate KCB. But KCB decides to chokoza Co Bank. Tell them, hey, watch a leo, give a shout out to Co Bank. No one ever talks to them. Clap back. Hey KCB, we've got your gift. A lifetime of subscription to Masponyo Attention Speakers Anonymous. Hope you make a full recovery. This is not fancy graphics, this is memes coming from 2 of the biggest banks in this country. Why are you being so serious on your social media if these guys can have fun? Content can be interesting and engaging. Of course, as an Arsenal fan, I had to drop this. This was Danny Welbeck, formerly of Arsenal, who we got from Man United. We know what happened to them yesterday. And he scored a magnificent goal on that day. And when he went to the corner, he sprinkled some salt. Yeah? And this is what influencers do to us. They influence us to do what they do. And quite often, if you as a brand is telling people to do what you think they need to do, they don't pay attention. It's like you're talking to yourself. So what's the goal? But there's a difference between influencers and key opinion leaders. The influencer is the, hey guys, welcome to my channel, right? The key opinion leader is the guy who makes you think about buying a new product, like a phone or maybe a car. It's a different type of person. But anyway, you talk to you about your brand, nobody pays attention. The influencer talks about your brand, and you start to pay attention, and then ultimately everyone starts talking about your brand. In fact, we have an influencer here on the front area of this room, and she can sell. So how do you work with influencers? Choose the ones who resonate with your target audience. It's not the one who has the most followers. It's the one who actually speaks to the audience that you're trying to engage. I remember when my daughter was in kindergarten, there's one of the parents, the lady who fought with the headmistress of the school. We came back in the new term, and 3/4 of the school was no longer there. Guys, that is an influencer. Yeah, the entire kindergarten almost shut down. She may have been a nano influencer, but she had influence. Okay? So choose the one with the right fit. Put storytelling at the heart of it. An influencer is known for storytelling. That's why they get an audience. That's why we watch people like the roaming chef. Yeah, we enjoy the storytelling that they do. Give them creative license. Don't tell them do it like this, do it like that. Give them the opportunity to tell their story in their own way. And of course, do your due diligence, right? Don't just choose an influencer because they have 2 million followers. Do the homework and figure out if this guy is the right fit. Switch it up, mix it up. If you're going to do content calendars for socials, don't post the same stuff every day. You can do so many different things. Motivation Monday, ask a question, Wednesday wisdom. You can really have diversity in your content calendar. It does not have to be the same stuff. And if you don't have that novelty or creativity in your content, then people stop paying attention. Sorry, let me go back. So, ChatGPT, practical uses. This is a content calendar I created this morning. And I said, create a content calendar for 3 social media posts for the eCommerce Day Africa that's happening today, where I, Moses Kemibaro, on behalf of Dotsavvy, will make a presentation on social media content that creates brand awareness, engagement, conversions, and retention. Voila. This took less than 30 seconds. I have a post where it should go, the content, the choice of image, and a call to action. I did ask it to do all these things. It just did it for me. I've been running a digital agency for 21 years. This is the kind of stuff that makes people lose jobs. Yeah? Because it is good. I mean, it's even putting emojis in there. Second post, midday. We're live now. I mean, I didn't ask you to do that. It just did it. So why are you stressing? If your mama boga or somebody small, the solutions exist. And guess what? Many of them are free. Right? ChatGPT does this for free. Evening. I'm in the evening. Yeah? I have a post that I can literally put now and put a picture and I'm done and I'm gone. Save time, save money, save effort. It's easy. So as we conclude, what are the 5 things that matter the most? The truth of the matter is on digital today, social media is everything. That's where we spend most of our time. We create our content, we live there, we share everything. Even the shoshos and gukas are there. If there's nothing else, look at the pictures of their grandchildren. Number 2, mobile is everything. If you're not creating content for social media that's mobile focused, then you're losing the engagement opportunity. Create content is a combination of, social media conversions, conversations, and also community building activities. Video and visual content, as I mentioned earlier, video is everything. Talk to anyone under 20, they watch videos for questions they put into Google or rather YouTube, and now even TikTok. And lastly, great visual design with ease of use for your social media content and digital platforms. Thank you very much.